Danny and his incredible other half, Sandy, on the call today. And just a few things. And I just want to say this just personally. Kristen and I are so grateful for you two and just the way that you have poured into us, which has waterfall down to the rest of our team. Yeah, you guys have just been there for us in ways that I think a lot of people will never know. And probably in ways that we don't even know that you guys have helped us. And so we just, from the bottom of our hearts, truly, thank you for everything that you have done for us and this team and are going to continue to do, honestly. And so, yeah, I'll just kind of leave it at that. But we are so grateful to have you on the call. And I know we want to dive into things for you guys to be able to get your notepads ready. And yeah, we're going to dive into a great call today. So, Danny and Sandy, thank you guys for being on the call this morning.
Hey, you're very welcome. And I love that notary picture. You're the only two people on earth that witnessed that.
Wow.
8
Yeah,
billion people, and y'all the only two.
we had to put that picture in. We're at a place called Hey Neighbor, and this is where
Hi,
Danny,
neighbor. Get it right. Hi,
whatever.
neighbor.
Hi, neighbor.
Some type of
Next
neighbor.
to the body armor is where you can evidently go make the biggest agency sale in symmetry history. And we got to witness that, and it was so special. And for those of you that don't know, you are now that much closer to Danny and Sandy in our hierarchy here. So we just love that. We're great grandkids instead of great great grandkids, which we love. Oh my goodness. Yeah, those are all pictures from our wellness retreat to Louisiana where you eat a lot and laugh till you cry.
Eat a
And
lot.
it is the best type of retreat. So, oh my goodness. Awesome. Well, we're going to kick it off with some questions. Something we came back from Louisiana um, with you two is just how excited you are about the business. And I think that's what's so special about the two of you is just how you've sustained excitement for this many years in a career of insurance. Doesn't sound that exciting when you say insurance, but I sure leave every conversation with you two so excited about what the future holds. So can you just talk to us about how you sustain that excitement?
It's kind of easy when you get on a call like this. You look at all these people, most of which I pronounce their names correctly. Some of y'all don't need to talk about who you're recruiting, okay? Because good Lord, those names. But it's easy, Kristen, to say stay excited around here, watching other people grow and watching other people become successful. I mean, when I started talking to Jennifer, what, 7 years ago, something like that, Jennifer's, and I mean, you talk about a poor, pitiful little being, 7 years ago. Good Lord.
Thank you. I have come so far because of you and Sandy. Thank you.
But I mean, just watching y'all. I mean, y'all were like lost as goats not that long ago, and the fact that y'all have put in the right work, you've associated with the right people, you've learned new things and not complained about it at all. You've had ups, you've had that. It's just a blast watching people go from where they were to where they are and knowing because Sam and I can look. We know about people. And it's like I told y'all when y'all were down here, we've seen the end of your movie, and it's absolutely epic, just epic. But it's a journey, and most people they get so caught up in results and today's results and that sort of thing that they forget that they're on a journey, and then where that journey is taking you is a special, special place that the vast, vast majority of people in America are never going to see the things y'all are going to get to see. I mean, think about this. We got a bunch of people in Iceland this past week. Iceland. I don't even know where Iceland is. And they're there saying it's beautiful and all this kind of stuff. But and some of y'all have won trips. And these things, it needs to be on your list of things you're going to accomplish here is win yourself a carrier trip because they cut no corners at all. You go to places, some of the most beautiful places on earth, and it's just totally, totally paid for. And they're not that hard to win, to tell you the truth. Okay. So, but it's easy when we have people like y'all in our life. It's easy to stay excited because I mean, we know where we are, but the exciting part is we know where y'all are going to be. That's the exciting part.
Well, we feel so grateful that we've gotten to meet with you every week for actually over a year now. We passed
Yeah,
our year anniversary. And I know that you are pretty selective with who you spend your time with, Danny. And I know there's a lot of people on this call
very
that have,
selective is that what you
yeah,
said? Very selective.
yeah, yeah. But man, I mean, I'm looking here like you guys, this entire book is this thick, and this is all Danny Young notes. So we're going to try and pull out as much as we can in the next 20, or I guess we've got 40 minutes, 30 minutes, just so you guys can practically be mindful of how you're entering 2026. So that's kind of where we want to go next, Danny. It's kind of, and if you guys missed Danny's call from last night, it was phenomenal. So we're actually going to try and stay away from some of those topics because you just need to go listen to that separately. It was so good. Um, but let's talk about 2026 and how we can go into the new year, Danny, especially some of our newer agents with a game plan on how to just attack the year, not wait, but start now.
If I can tell people one thing that I think is just massive, and it's hard for a lot of people to accept what I'm fixing to say, okay? But it's a fact because I've been in this business for 41 years now, which is crazy. But it 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 it's what you focus on that's going to determine where you get, and what I think is a sad thing is that most people come here and they focus on stuff. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of stuff here. Okay. You can go in Summit and stay for decades just with stuff. But it's not about stuff, it's about self.
Mm,
See, everybody shows up here. Everybody shows up here with the ability to win here. It's inside of you. We would like you to stick around long enough for us to get out of you what's inside of you. And the sad thing is, most people don't. And look, when I say that, that most people just accept this. Most people don't make it here. This is because it's too hard for them. They don't want something bad enough. They say they're not satisfied with their life, but they come here and give us a solid 3 weeks and then they're gone. You gotta be here long enough to get strong enough to do this business. But it's all about working on yourself, which is, to me, is the best news ever. Because if I look, if it took me in order to win here, if it took me having to work on Kyle, for example, I got to get up every day and I got to work on Kyle in order for me to win. Think about that. You know, I have access to Kyle. How many hours a week? One, one. So it's going to take an awful long time if that's what I have to do. But the good news is I don't have to work on Kyle. I have to work on Danny. And how many hours a day I have access to him. See? So that's the good news. And it's all about doing four things here. Four, not 100, four things. Because you come here, look, understand this. People feel like they come here and they think everybody in the world knows they don't know anything about this. No, listen to me. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what you know. Nobody cares what you know. Okay. I'm talking about outside of symmetry. We're going to help you grow. If you'll put in the work, you'll come here with a good attitude and you can do the things we ask you to do, then you're going to be fine. Okay. But if you want to grow you, which you have no choice if you're going to win here, you have to grow you because look, this is like a law. I speak in laws. I don't speak in theories or rumors or stuff like that. It's hard to argue with a law. There's a law, law of gravity. I don't know how the law of gravity works. I have no idea what the basis of that is. I know if I go on top of a building and step off, I'm going down. Okay, this I know. I can do it 100 times. I'm going down 100 times. You're not going to go up ever with the law of gravity says you can't go up. Okay. And so if you come here, here's my law. Who you are right now, the person you are is the person that got you where you are right now. That person can't get you where you want to go here. You just have to accept that. Okay. You cannot come here, stay the same, have the same schedule you had before, do the same things that you've done on Monday, every Monday of your life, same thing on Tuesday, same thing on, you can't do that. You have to change you. If you want to change where you are, you have to change who you are. And that's hard for a lot of people. It's hard. They've never really had anybody See, because here's how most people's lives look. Your parents told you what to do. Your teachers told you what to do. Your coaches told you what to do. Your bosses told you what to do. The professors told you what to do. You come here and nobody tells you what to do. You have to tell you what to do, which means you have to learn what to do. But no, symmetry is never going to ask you to do more than you want to do. But it was awfully good news to me when I found out that, hey, I had to change because, good Lord, I needed a change. Can I tell you, I was 16 years shift worker, 37 years old, did not own a tie at age 37. I had plaid shirts and blue jeans and steel-toed boots. That's who I was, okay? Borderline derelict, I think is the official name of that. And then I get in the insurance business. Well, I can't look like a shift worker in the insurance business. Okay, it's just not going to work for people. And so what I learned early on is if I want to grow me, it's only four things. Number one, I got to read. I think I covered this on my call last night, didn't Look, I was up until that point in my life, 37 years old, the only thing I read was Sports Page and Sports Illustrated. That was it. That's not going to help you grow much in the business world. And so I had to learn how to read stuff that was going to help me, because here's what reading is supposed to do, okay? You're supposed to buy the books, read the books more than once, and have that book impart a little bitty change in your brain. That's why I don't read books that don't resonate with me. There's a lot of the Firewalker. What's his guy's name? Anthony something? Tony Robbins. I can't read Tony Robbins' books because I can't stand his voice. It's just me. It's a personal thing. It sounds just like somebody scraping on a blackboard or something, just screeching to me. I get a really sharp pain behind my right eye when he talks. Well, so I bought it. I bought his book, and when I opened it up, started reading it, it comes into my brain at his voice. So I had to put that book up. So I read. I have found authors. The key to reading here is to find authors that resonate with you. And anybody that knows me knows that that's John Maxwell and Jim Rohn. And thank goodness Maxwell's got about 100 books. I've read them all. But you got to find somebody that speaks into your brain, that resonates with you, it sticks with you, and it makes a little bitty change in your brain, the way you think, the way you look at things. Because understand this business is 100% mental. Mental. Everything takes place above your shoulders, okay? Between your ears. So if you're going to work on you, that's where you got to work. And those of y'all that talk with me, every week, that's where we work. We work above your shoulders. And so, and we don't talk how at all, right? So, so you got to read. See, I've read an absolute ton of biographies. Okay, and here's what I learned reading biographies. Every single person in the history, every single successful person in the history of successful people struggled. Struggled. So when I'm going through, or in my early years, when I was going through struggles, I just remember, hey, Steve Jobs went through struggle. Every successful person. So reading helps you with that, okay? Second thing I learned is that I needed to associate with a different kind of person. Okay. Shift worker hanging with shift workers is going to remain a shift worker. Fair enough? Look, I think Chris and I told y'all this when y'all were down there. You can take crabs, which we have down here. You can put 10 crabs in a bucket, and you don't have to put a lid on the bucket because try as they might to get out of there, other crabs won't let them. They'll pull them back down. They cannot get themselves out of a bucket. And so that's how humans are. That's how friends are. You come here and try to make something successful out of your life, and some of your friends are not going to like that because you're making them look bad. You didn't even give them any thought at all. You're going to run off and become successful. You're going to go back, it's a cult. You'll hear stuff like this. I had a chance when I got in the insurance business to associate with a different kind of human being. I got a chance to hang around, listen to, communicate with successful people for the first time in my life. And I found out that they have their own language. Okay, success has its own language. I had to learn that language. And what I would do is I'd go in a room And I could tell early on in my career, I could go in a room and I could pretty much tell who could from who couldn't. I don't know why I have that ability, but I do. I would go stand by these people. I wouldn't say a word. I'd eavesdrop just to hear them talk, how they talk, what they talked about. Y'all have been with us at a restaurant. You see how nosy I am at a restaurant. I'm listening to everybody around me. Okay, I'm just like that. I wanna know. I'm curious about people. People intrigue me. All right, but I got to hang around successful people. And look, you will get through osmosis. You actually will pick something up from somebody that's going to help you in your life. And the next thing I learned working on me was I had to attend stuff. I had to go to different stuff. I couldn't just go to sporting events and grow as a person. Okay? Because at sporting events, you sit up in the stands. That's where you are, in the stands, on a row, in a seat designated for you. And then Monday, look, people went to work today and said, we won yesterday. No, we won. No, you were sitting up in section 38. That's where you were. What do you mean we won? But that's what people want to do. People participate in other people's success, and you think you had a part to do with it. No, you up there clapping or booing, whatever you did. So, but I got to attend things. I got to see John Maxwell in person with 3,000 other people in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been in insurance business about a year. Borrowed $100 from somebody, not sure if I ever even paid it back, and rode with about six people in a vehicle to Atlanta, Georgia, and listened to John Maxwell for 7 hours. 7 hours changed my life because he resonated with me. See, I didn't get a sharp pain behind my right eye when John Maxwell spoke, thank goodness. And so he has spoken to me now for 40 years. And I understand every word he says. And he said, look, he said things to me through his books. I knew he was talking just to me. Things like things change when you change. I think one of the most important things I ever heard him say was that you work on your strengths and outsource your weaknesses. See, because everybody I've ever talked to in my life, they're always telling me you work on your weaknesses, work on things you're not good at. Well, I don't like doing that. Okay. I'm not good at those things for a reason. I don't like doing them. John Maxwell gave me permission to outsource those things. So that's what I do. And y'all have heard me say 100 times, and y'all know this, y'all witness it. Okay. I'm good at two or three things. But I'm gonna tell you what, I am really good at those two or three things, and those two or three things just happen to work well here. Okay. What I'm not good at, I'm not good at products. There are people, I don't know if we talked about this week. We haven't talked this week, but I wrote something down because what you hear a lot of is you hear the three P's. You hear about producing, you hear about production, which some people think is the same thing. I think it's different. And you hear about premium. That's the three P's that you hear. It's all over the Wednesday call because that's how we get paid. That's how we get promoted, all that sort of stuff. Okay. So it's the three P's, and two of them are production. I deal with one P. That's people. And I don't know. Look, I used to know. I don't know anymore. I got limited capacity in my brain. Okay. And so I don't have room up there for product stuff and all. I don't know product stuff. I know more than I'm gonna let y'all think I know, but I want you to think I don't know anything about products, but I know an awful lot about people, and this is a people business. You want to make good money? Learn everything about products. You want to make walking away money? Learn about people. And it's a difference between using your credibility versus your sales ability. Because see, that only thing me and Sandy showed up with 12 years ago was credibility. We had people in our life that had known us for 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, 40 years, never known us to be a fool. And the sad thing that I see in symmetry is that most people don't use their credibility. And your credibility is worth a fortune here. Because if I ask a friend of mine that's known me for 30 years, I say, look, I'm gonna send you two videos. They're 3 minutes each. Take a look at them and see if you know anybody that might want to come work with me. How you think they'll watch two videos? They will watch two videos. And if they have any influence at all with some people, everybody knows, just like everybody knows somebody today. Everybody on this call knows somebody who died during the COVID years. Everybody also knows two, three, four, five, six people that'll come here and take a look at symmetry just because you ask them to. They will. Some of y'all don't believe that because you don't do that. but I'm telling you, it's an absolute fact. And so I got to go to events that taught me the things I needed to learn in order to win here. And you got to show up. See, Jennifer, there are people not on this call today in your agency or in the Young Gains agency, not on this call. That was a choice. They chose not to be on the call, which means that they're not going to get the piece of their puzzle that they would have gotten had they got on this call today. Now look, I don't feel bad for them at all because I think if you miss something, you ought to miss something. Okay, if you choose not to be there because every choice has a consequence. Every one, good or bad. And those people that chose not to be on this call, they missed out on maybe getting the piece that they needed to win here.
Mhm.
So all we can do is be excited about being on these calls and encourage people to get on these calls, but everybody's got to make their own decision, okay? And a lot of people make, broke people make broke people decisions. That's why a lot of them stay broke.
Mhm.
So, and then the last thing, there's four: reading, associating with the right people, attending stuff. The last thing is struggle. You have got to struggle. You need to get to the point where you relish struggling. Struggle is your friend. Struggle is what molds you into the person you have to become in order to win big here. And it makes no sense to me not to win big, okay? Some people just want to win little. They just want a little bit. And you can get a little bit here. If you want to get a little bit, do a little bit, you get a little bit. Do a lot, you get a lot. Pretty much how it works, okay? Insurance industry is kind of strange, and if you send them no business, they send you no money. I think that's fair. A lot of people think that's unfair. I want to like do nothing. Like I want to stand in a garage and become a car. It doesn't work that way, okay? You have got to do something here. And so you send them no business, they send you no money. You send them a little business, they send you a little money. Now you send them a lot of business, guess what? They send you a lot of money. So if you're sitting here today saying, "Well, I'm just not making what I thought I'd be making. I'm not making what's on," hey, send them more business.
Mhm.
And it's not business that you personally have to write. It's business that you're responsible for them getting. My agency last year, 2024, we sent the carriers almost 30,000 applications. My name wasn't on any of them, but I was responsible for all of them. Because if I don't come here, that business does not get sent to them. Okay. And so I got paid on every single one of those 30,000 that got issued. Odds are I won't have my name on any in 2026. That's my goal anyway. Unless somebody calls me and comes over and brings their laptop and downloads everything I'm gonna need on it and then shows me how to write an app,
Mhm.
I probably won't have my name on one. But see, I didn't come here to sell. I came here. Sandy and I came here to build something.
Mhm.
And we have because we found, look how hard it is. We found a few good people, and through those few good people, we found some more good people. And through those people, we found some more good people.
Mhm.
And and the more people you have, the bigger the agency you're going to have. And the bigger the agency you build, the more clients you're going to get. I mean, think about this from like new people. Never, because some people come here and say, well, he came here 12 years ago. You have a much better years ago.
Mhm.
12 years ago, Symmetry was 4 years old, and they had leads and they had an indexed annuity. That was it. That was it. They were getting, like 4 years old, they were getting 80% of their business from 7 states on the East Coast, because they're out of Asheville, North Carolina. 80%. I was the first agent in the state of Louisiana after 4 years that they'd been in business. My first recruit was the first agent in the state of Oklahoma. My first month, my first month I recruited 4 people. So there was 5 of us. There was no new leads in Louisiana because they didn't mail anywhere that they didn't have agents asking for leads. And I was the first agent there. It took them 6 weeks to get us the first new lead. But they found a box of old leads. I think they were made out of papyrus or something. They were yellow. They were so old you couldn't fax them. And they sent those to us and we went to work, 5 of us. We went to work because all we want to do is go to work, get better. Because that's how you get better. You get better by doing. You can get a tiny bit better by reading. Somebody that's getting better by doing is going to beat the crap out of you every month because you're studying and they're doing. And so We wrote 61,000 our first month here, December of 2013, because we had five people that wanted to go to work. We didn't have five people that wanted to get into Summit and stay, pitch a tent for 10 years. We went to work and we've just grown from there. So we went from, me and Sandy, we had five our first month. And, last month we had 500 and I don't know. We've done it. We've done 600 riders in a month before, doing, right at 3 million a month in premium. But it's all because we read, we associated with the right people, we attended the stuff, and we struggled. We didn't mind the struggle because we knew the struggle was making us stronger. Struggle makes you stronger, not weaker. So you need to relish that. You need to rejoice in that. And a lot of people can't do that. They don't like pain. Change brings pain. You'll never, ever, ever change anything in your life that doesn't bring a little pain. Losing weight, quit smoking, that sort of thing. I think I saw Kyle try to stop eating. He couldn't. So
Impossible.
never seen a skinny guy eat that much food in my life in just 2.5 days. Incredible. Got a hollow leg, I think.
Danny, there's
So
so many gold nuggets here, and we've been meeting with you for over a year, and I'm like, every time it's just nugget after nugget. And I think one thing that you do incredibly well is just keep it so simple. And I think that's one thing that this business can get. There's a
I
lot
take
of
that,
shiny
look,
things.
I take that as a compliment, but I promise you, I have no choice. Okay. I'm a simple person. Y'all seen that. I'm simple. You've seen Kristen just threw up seeing my system here of tracking my business in my in my office. It's simple. It's look, I've evolved about 250 yards from the cave, and that's about it. Okay. So, but it works for me. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. That tickled me.
No, I think it's just it's so important, I think, to remember, and Chris and I being here for 3 years, we have also seen like a lot of change, and there's a lot of different things that are out there. But I think one thing too that Symmetry has done is just keep it simple. And for you, the four things: read, associate, attend stuff, and struggle.
Yeah.
And that's the recipe to success, I think. And what part of that to you, Danny? And this is, I think, kind of the other part that just comes maybe innately to you, and it's naturally just a part of who you are. But what part does discipline play in all of that? Is that
Oh.
something that you think constantly about? I feel like you're just innately disciplined, but for myself, I
No, I'm not. I'm not innately disciplined. I've learned that, and I probably learned it through athletics, to tell you the truth, because I was raised in athletics. It was before they had like face masks and stuff like that. But I was raised I was raised in athletics. And look, coaches had a big influence on me. All right, they're the ones that they made you run. It was not just once, everything you had to do it a dozen times to get it right. But you learn discipline through that. Discipline is number one, to answer your question, Kyle. It's number one on the list of things that you need to develop. Number one, because discipline is what gets you to do things when you don't feel like doing it. And that's how you beat people. You do things like I work, and y'all have seen this. I work when others rest. I work when others will take off. I work when others are complacent because I know that those things are not helping their business, and I know that me working while they're doing that means that look, I'm safe from them. They're not going to catch me, you know. And this is a very friendly, competitive business. I like knowing the fact. Well, I don't like knowing the fact that I'm the oldest agency owner. Okay, I'm not fired up about that. But I am fired up to know that I can compete with the 25-year-olds and the 30-year-olds and the 40-year-olds. All I have to do is develop more successful people than they do. And I do that by growing myself. You can't grow somebody else if you're not growing yourself. You can't do it. It doesn't work that way. But coaches had a tremendous influence on me and from a discipline standpoint. If they say practice is at 3 o'clock, you don't drag your butt in there at 3:20. It's not gonna be a good day for you if you do that, okay? Because you're gonna wonder why don't they let me play on Friday night? Because you dragged your butt in there at 320. That's why. And so I just learned stuff like that. You know, when you meet people by doing stuff when they're resting, and you got great opportunity because look, there's a ton. It's so easy here to get to a level, an income level, say, above what you were making at your job, and it's easy to become complacent. And it's easy to lose your discipline. But here's what drives discipline 100% of the time. It's what you want. Desire drives discipline. And what you want determines what you do. 100% determines what you do, and what you do determines 100% what you get. And so if you want to get more here, it's not about doing more, it's about wanting more. And think about this. People spend their days here thinking about dialing, thinking about interviewing, thinking about products, thinking about produce. How much time in a day do you spend thinking about what you want? Because that is the key to everything. And when you come here and you see this, you're excited. I mean, people are excited when they first get their license, they get appointed, they're excited. Then they get punched in the throat. And when they get punched in the throat, somebody tells them no, somebody no shows them, some side, whatever. And people forget what they want. It's our job as leaders, Jennifer. It's our job to keep what people want in front of them because it's easy for them to forget it. When it's raining crap, it's hard to see what you want. And people tend to lose that, and that's when they tend to not do the things that they need to do to win because they're not disciplined because they have lost sight of what they want. And y'all know this, talking to me every week. We talk about this all the time, because I'm not going to let y'all forget what you said you want. I'm not. And I know that irritates y'all from time to time, like every week. But we're going to talk about that because that's the key to everything. See, if you can keep your eyes on what did I tell y'all, we're on the yellow brick road. Okay, we're going to Emerald City. I promise you, we're going to Emerald City. Hey, we may even skip away, like they did in the movie. But we're going to see the wizard. And I'm telling you, if you can put in the work for a short period of time, and when I'm talking about a short period of time, I'm talking about 3 years. You put in the right work for 3 years, you won't recognize the rest of your life. And y'all have been here 3 years, but you've really been doing the right things for a year. Okay? But it's all about doing the right stuff long enough. And it's the long enough part that gets most people. That's what takes discipline is can you get up and work on days you don't want to work? Can you get up and work on days? I mean, up there, y'all got 6 months out of the year. Y'all can't even get out of your house. Just think. You ever think about this? You think about it, what if you still had your jobs? How that would look like in Iowa, or wherever y'all were living? Good Lord.
Different.
Can't imagine.
Uh,
So, it's all discipline's everything, Kyle. It's everything. And have you ever think about this? Have you ever done something that you did not want to do? Get up early, go for a hike, or you had to. I'm not talking about getting up on Monday and going to work. Okay, that doesn't count. But have you ever something that you just said, man, I don't want to do that. Man, I don't want to do that. But you did it anyway. How'd you feel after you did it?
so good.
See, there's not a feeling that can match that. Not many feelings at all that can match that. So that's the deal. I just look, and all I've done here for what me and Sandy have right now, it's just a result of us working. That's all it is. We just outwork people. We
Yeah.
outwork people. There's no magic stuff to this at all. We just outwork people. The people who have the most people are going to win here. So the question is, how many people do you have? Because here's what I know. There's 163 million people right outside my window here working today. Job, cubicle, small business, 163 million. And they're sitting there thinking today, God, I hate Monday. You know why they hate Monday? Because they can't see Friday from Monday. That's why they like hump day so much, because they can see Friday from hump day. This is how people live their life. But they got up today and they said, God, no, then gotta go. Gotta go work with people I can't stand, doing stuff I hate for not enough money. This is how people are out there, okay? And they're thinking about today. They're thinking about, they're daydreaming. They're thinking about what they want. What they want is to be able to take their kids to Disney World. What they want, really, right this time of year, is they want to be able to get their kids what their kids want for Christmas. And most people are not going to be able to do that this year. How's that going to feel? Okay. Did you like Christmas better as a child than you do as an adult? Yes. And so there's that. They know that here comes January and February, and those credit card bills are going to be coming in. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? This is what people think about out there. They want more control over their finances. They want more control over their life. They hear about something called bonuses that people get this time of year. You know, some people do, salespeople do sometimes, but the vast majority of people have never had a bonus. They would love to get a bonus. And every survey they run, they find out that the vast majority of people in America, given a choice, would like to own their own business. Now they don't, because typically it takes an idea, it takes money, and it takes guts, and most people don't have those three things. So they're sitting out there today thinking about those three things. Can't get any of the three out there. None of the three. They can get all three in here. And yet we're not talking to people about stuff like this.
Mhm.
So I forgot what your question was. I think it was something about discipline.
It's perfect.
That was perfect. You kind of grazed over this, Danny, but it's so true. Like Kyle and I have been here 3 years, and you said we've only been really doing the right thing for a year, which meant
Right.
we really struggled for the first 2 years. And I want to just emphasize that. And we still meet with our coach every week, and that's you, Danny.
Yeah.
Like we still need that. And so I just think it's so easy to think that people just come here and get it, but people that come here work for it, those are the people that stay and that you
Yeah.
see winning. Yeah.
But let me look, let me make you feel better about this kind of stuff, okay? I ask people that I'm trying to get to come here. I'll ask them, I said, look, I'm gonna give you a pop quiz. Two questions. There's no wrong answer. But if you answer these two questions correctly, there's no way you can fail here. Number one, can you work with people? Then I wait for answer. What do you think most people say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love people. Well, that was the easy one. Here's the hard one. Can you make yourself work? And most people are going to say yes. Everybody's going to say yes. And then they get punched in the throat and they realize that was the wrong answer. They can't work once they get punched in the throat. But that's all it takes here. Can you work with people? Can you make yourself work? And that's see, I can do both those things, and I can do both those things at a high level.
Hmm.
I've got a very high pain threshold when it comes to people. I've told you this before, Kristen. I know for a fact. Let me have that grief. Let me have that grief. Okay, I've got a very high capacity of handling other people's problems. I do. And so give me that worry bead. That's one less worry bead you have. You remember us having this conversation?
Oh,
And
multiple
and
times.
yeah, absolutely. But that's what we do. See, because here's why I can do that. Picture this. See, I can take some of their grief and handle it because I've grown my capacity. I've grown my capacity. I didn't come here with the capacity. Look, I didn't come here able to handle 585 writers. I had to grow into that person.
Hmm.
And you know how you grow here? You know how you become a leader here is you go get people. You don't go read about leadership and then go get some people. You go get people, they teach you leadership. Okay? And it's not a smooth road. It's not. I can't tell you how many times I've had to tell somebody, look, I really kind of screwed that one up. Okay. I promise you I'm gonna do better next time.
Yep.
How you learn how to lead. But you can't. I'm telling you, there are things you cannot learn any other way except by doing. You have to mess up. You have to learn. Because that's the things I learned. I learned that every choice has a consequence. I've made a lot of bad choices early in my career. Some because I didn't know any better, some because I was hard-headed, but I learned them. And then I learned to not like the consequences of some of my choices. So guess what? I stopped making those choices. I learned what good choices were. I'm going to show up. I'm going to work on me. I'm going to try to find the good in people because everybody's got something good in them. Every acorn's got an oak tree in it, okay? Everyone. So I'm gonna try to find that. Is it hard for some people to find a good? Yes, it is. Okay. You got to dig deep into some people.
Mm,
And so, but I had to see all of those things are learned. And the only thing I have on Jennifer Gaines is a head start.
Hmm.
That's all. But we spend so much time comparing ourselves to other people. It's pitiful.
mhm,
Jamie Susie was one of the, when I started working with her, she was one of the worst. She compared, compared, compared. A lot of y'all have heard me say this. I got on Amazon. I sent her some blinders like they put on horses for the Kentucky Derby. I sent her some blinders, and I made her take a picture with these things on in her mirror. I had to promise not to ever show it to anybody. But I don't want her looking around. I don't want you looking around. There's no need. It doesn't matter what somebody else is doing. It does not matter.
Hmm.
What matters is what are you doing to get better? And it's a little bit every day, just a tad every day. And what'll happen is there's going to come a day where you're going to know what you're doing.
mm,
And you're going to walk different, Kyle. You're going to talk different. People are going to know. See, people will notice it before you notice it yourself. And this company, I promise you, let it, this company will mold you into who you need to be to win big here. If you let it. But you got to get up. You got to get up every day. You can't just lay around. You can't hope it's easy. You can't hope at all. Matter of fact, okay, hope is not a strategy. Wishing is not a strategy. You got to put in the work. But you only got to find a couple of the right kind of people. Right kind of people. And then what I do when y'all all know this, most of y'all know it. When I get somebody, I'm gonna dig through that person, and I'm gonna find somebody for them. Then I'm gonna dig through that person. And I'm gonna find somebody for them. I'm gonna find them in these people's warm markets because I know good people know good people. So if you recruit somebody that's a good person and you don't get them somebody in their market, they're going to quit.
yeah,
They are. The only thing that keeps people here is having somebody. So good people know good people. But see, if you don't focus on that and you let somebody quit, it's not one person quitting. They took their entire market with them
Right.
when they quit. That's why you got to keep them here.
mm,
Ashley Tarr, I found digging through five people. Five people. She was number six. And last year, 12 years later, 11 years later, she was responsible for 24 million of the 30 million that my agency did.
mm,
So you're looking for one or two of the right people, and they may be when you recruit somebody, just convince your brain that the person or two that you're looking for is in this person's market. That'll give you a sense of urgency to get in that person's market to get them somebody, which is the only thing keeps people here. You're
mhm,
not doing, look, you're not doing that for yourself, for how much it helps you. You're doing it for them because that's the
Mhm.
only thing that keeps them here. So anyway,
Mm.
I know
so
we're over
good.
already. Shocker. We got
Shocker. I knew this would happen.
I could just keep it going. Just keep it going.
well,
No.
Jennifer had 750 slides. Good Lord.
Sorry. Oh my goodness. I feel bad.
Oh
I
my
feel
word.
bad.
No, don't feel bad. That's some
No.
good-looking people you put up there. And I got to practice their names when you put them up there. Okay. Some of them I still don't
Take
get.
note. Yes. Make
Okay.
notes.
So good. No, this was
Danny, thank
perfect.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was incredible. And you guys throw in the chat just whatever that big gold nugget was that you took away from the call today. Again, there's just so much practicality, and again, the simplicity of what we get to do in this business is going to be the thing that gets us to where we're trying to go.
Yeah.
And so I think what you said, Danny, it's the people that do it long enough and
Oh,
continue to
yeah.
do it every
Do the
day.
right things long enough, you cannot fail. Cannot
Yeah,
fail. Cannot fail. If you don't know what the right things are, ask somebody.
yeah,
Okay. We know.
yeah, definitely. And then you guys just take the rest of December. This is the launching pad into next year. I think what Danny said, just think about what we
That's right.
want for next year and take the next, yeah, not even a month to do that so that we can dive into 2026
That's right.
ready to
Hey,
rock.
look, I appreciate the invitation. Y'all know this is one of my favorite teams in my agency. I'm telling you, I just absolutely love being around y'all.
I
Thank
used to
you.
think Danny didn't have favorites, you guys, but he really does. So when he
Oh,
said
and,
that,
and
he
he
means
look, he
it.
tells the favorites they're favorites. You know?
Thank you, Danny. We consider you family in this agency, and thank you for all that you do for so many of us on this call. And we just love you. So thank you for being on
Hey, thank you for introducing me to sourdough bread. Okay, I can never repay you.
Sourdough and Kerrygold butter, baby.
I love
There
it.
you go, brother. Gotta
I
have it.
love it.
All
All
right, y'all.
right.
Let's go. Hey, let's go get some people. Okay, they're out there. They need us. You can change a person's life with this opportunity. Go find some. All right. Thank
Thanks,
y'all.
Danny. Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
Jennifer.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Have a good week,
Thank
y'all.